Hello friends, in today's cloud computing class we are going to see the evolution of cloud computing, and in the evolution of cloud computing we are having two parts. First one is hardware evolution and second one is internet software evolution. And in the today's class we are going to see the hardware evolution. First let us see the hardware evolution. And nowadays the computers will dominated our personal life as well as professional life. That is, without computers we cannot do anything in these days. But the first device, that is the first mechanical device, was invented in the year 1642. The name of that device is adding device. That is, a device that would mechanically add numbers was invented in the year 1642, and this is named as calculating device. The calculating device was invented from the technology abacus. We know what is meant by abacus. The abacus is very good technology for adding the arithmetical operations. And in 1930 the binary arithmetic was developed. What is meant by binary arithmetic? In the arithmetic we are having the numbers only in the combination of zeros and ones, and this is the foundation of computer processing technology, terminology and all the programming languages. And in 1939 Berry brothers invented electronic computers which are capable of operating digitally. That is, digital computer was invented in the year 1939, and those computers were performed using vacuum tube technology. In the year 1941 the machine called Konrad Zuse's Z3 was introduced in German laboratory, and it is very much helpful for doing floating point and binary arithmetic operations. And it was a Turing complete device, and it is considered to be very first computer that was fully operational. And the programming language which is used in that machine is Turing complete, and it can perform any calculation a universal Turing machine can perform. Over the course of next 2 years, the computer prototypes were built to decode secret German messages by the US Army. Now let us see the different generation of computers. The first one is first generation computers. The period of first generation computer was 1946 to 1959. Here the vacuum tube is the main component of first generation computer. By using this vacuum tube only, they have constructed the memory and CPU, that is central processing unit, and the size of vacuum tube is like electronic bulbs, and which produces a lot of heat, and it frequently fused off. So the changing of vacuum tubes will be very often, hence the expenses were very high. Only large organizations were able to afford it. In this generation, mainly batch processing operation systems were used, and the punched cards, paper tapes and magnetic tapes were used as input and output devices. The computers in this generation used machine code as programming language. And this is the example for first generation computer. The size of these computers were very big, and it will occupy the entire room. And these are the main components of first generation computer. The main components are vacuum tubes. The size of these tubes are very big, and these are looking like electronic bulbs, and which produces very big heat, and it will fuse very often, so we need to frequently change those electronic tubes, that is vacuum tubes. The main feature of first generation computers, first one is these are vacuum tube technology, unreliable, supported machine language only, and the cost is very high, generates lot of heat, slow input and output devices, huge size and need of AC, and non-portable, consumes lot of electricity. And here is some of first generation computer. First one is ENIAC. ENIAC. ENIAC means electronic numerical integrator and computer. And second one is EDVAC. EDVAC means electronic discrete variable automatic computer. And next one is UNIVAC, that is universal automatic computer. And next one is IBM 701 and IBM 750. IBM means International Business Machine. So these are some of the first generation computers. What are they? ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC, IBM 701 and IBM 750. The second generation computers. The period of second generation computers was from 1959 to 65, and here transistors were used as main component of second generation computers. It is very cheaper and consumed less power when compared to vacuum tubes, and the size is also very small, and it is more reliable and faster than first generation machines, and which are made up of vacuum tubes. That is, the first generation machines were made up of vacuum tubes, but the second generation transistors were introduced. And in the second generation, magnetic cores were used as primary memory, and for the secondary memory, magnetic tape and magnetic disk were used. And the assembly language, high level programming languages were introduced in second language, and they are like Fortran and COBOL. Fortran means formula transaction, COBOL means common business oriented language. And the computers used batch processing and multi-programming operating systems. And this photo shows the ENIAC computer. The size is also very big, but when compared to first generation computer, the size of the second generation computer is somewhat small. The main features of second generation computers. And in the second generation, they were used transistors as the main component. When compared to first generation computers, these second generation computers are reliable, smaller in size, generates less heat, consumed less electricity, and faster. But the cost is still very high. It requires AC and supported machine and assembly languages. And now let us see the computers used in second generation. The first one is IBM 1620 and IBM 1794 and CDC 1604. CDC means Control Data Corporation, and CDC 3600 and UNIVAC 1108. These are some of the computers which were used in second generation. The next one is third generation computers. The period of third generation computers was from 1965 to 71, and the main component of third generation computers were integrated circuits, and those were replaced in the place of transistors. In single IC, they have many number of transistors, resistors and capacitors, and because of these ICs, the computer size was very much reduced and it was reliable and efficient. The ICs were invented by Jack Kilby, and these third generation computers, they were remote processing, time sharing and multi-programming operating systems were used. And the high level languages like Fortran 2 to 4, COBOL, Pascal programming language 1, BASIC, that is beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code, ALGOL 68, and these languages were used in third generation computers, and these are high level languages. Intel 4004 was the first complete CPU of third generation, and they were used only the integrated circuits. Because of those integrated circuits, the size of those computers were very much reduced, and they were kept on table itself. The main feature of third generation computers are ICs were used. IC were the main component of third generation computers, and these are very reliable when compared to previous two generations. Smaller in size, generated less heat, faster, lesser maintenance, and but it is still costly, AC required, consumed lesser electricity, and supported high level languages. And these are the main features of third generation computers. Some computers of this generation, that is third generation, were IBM 360 series, Honeywell 6000 series, PDP, that is personal data processors, and TDC 316. The next one is fourth generation computers. The period was from 1971 to 1980. And in fourth generation, VLSI circuits were used, that is very large scale integrated circuits. And these are very powerful circuits because one VLSI circuit contains more than 5000 transistors and other circuit related elements which are associated with one single VLSI circuit. So it is very powerful, compact and reliable and affordable computers, and this is the new revolution of personal computers. And in this generation, time sharing, real time networks, distributed operating systems were used, and all the high level languages like C, C++, DBase were used in this generation. And this is the diagram for fourth generation computer. And in this fourth generation computers, microprocessors were used to build the CPU. The main features of fourth generation computers are VLSI technology used, very cheap when compared to all the previous generations, and portable and reliable, use of PCs, that is personal computers, the size is very small, pipeline processing were introduced, no AC required, concept of internet was introduced in this period, and great developments in the field of networks, and computers become easily available in fourth generation. Some computers of this generation were DC-10 and Star 1000, PDP-11, CD-1, that is supercomputer, CD-XMP supercomputers, and some other computers were also there in fourth generation. The current generation is fifth generation computers. The period is 1982 till date. Here the VLSI technology became ULSI, that is ultra large scale integration technology, that is the production of microprocessor chips which are having 10 million electronic components, that is 10 million electronic components were inside one single ultra large scale integration circuits. And in this generation, parallel processing hardware and artificial intelligence software were introduced, and AI is an emerging branch in computer science which interprets the means and methods of making computers think like human being. All high level languages like C, C++, Java, .NET were used in this generation. And these are some of the fifth generation computers: robots, laptops, supercomputers, mobile phones, palm pads, everything will come under this fifth generation computers. The main features of fifth generation computers are ULSI technology were introduced, and development of true artificial intelligence, and development of natural language processing, advancement in parallel processing, advancement in superconductor technology, and more user friendly interface with the multimedia features, and availability of very powerful and compact computers with very cheaper rate. And the computers in this fifth generation are desktop, laptop, notebook, ultrabook, and Chromebook. Up to this we have seen the evolution of cloud computing. Under this we have seen the hardware evolution of computers. That is, we have seen all the 5 generation computers in this video. Friends, you can give the definition of all the 5 generation computers in the comment box. Also you can give the general comment about this video in the comment box. In the next video we are going to see the software evolution of cloud computing. Thank you all of you.